loud so we can record for those who couldn't make it. And if you have a friend or business partner that you think this would be beneficial for them to hear, let me know. Drop me an email, drop me a message, and we will send the replay link to them. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. But anyway, the law of constructive interference, two waves of the same amplitude, when they meet, they double in positivity. But when a negative wave is around a positive wave, the negative wave drops and pulls the positive wave down. And is that Panda or Pang right there? Welcome.
You're welcome. Pandora is my name.
Pandora, nice to meet you. And
Thank
drop
you.
in the chat where you're from, and we'll let you guys talk and ask questions towards the end. But we're going to start here in just a little bit. Diana Van Inch is up in Oregon, and she has been a client, and she's on here supporting me. SoCal. I always ask people, are you from SoCal or NoCal? Up in Northern California. But there you go. New Jersey. There we go. Doug. And I talked to you earlier, and it was so much fun talking to you. And we talked about that. But a negative person, yeah, we did, didn't we?
We did.
A negative person can pull that positive vibration wave down. And it was my wife that told me when I was going out after work to watch live music. And I was on TV, so people would be like, hey, Chuck, here's a beer, here's a shot. And I was social drinking. I never drank at home. But she started seeing some of my friends that I would watch live music with. And she told me there's a saying in Spanish that says, show me the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I'll tell you what you're smoking, right? But how true is that? And I love to add my favorite saying to that is, if you're the smartest person in the room, leave and find another room, right? If you're the most successful person in the room, leave and find another room, because vibrations are real. And I'm a scientist. I'll introduce myself formally in just a little bit, but let's kick this off. This is Burnout to Bank. And welcome, everyone. I really appreciate your time. But we're going to be erasing your mental profit blocks fast. Now, how many people have heard you have to act as if? Act as if money is already on the way to you. That new stream of income is already on the way. Angie says many times. Yeah. And if you act as if you feel as if you hear yourself say money is already on the way, if you can put in as many of your 5 senses, and that is the hypnotic mind shift method that I do, putting in your 5 senses. I help and I specialize in helping burned out business owners make more money. But I help them mentally get out of their own way. I specialize in erasing anxiety and depression. And 21 years ago, I argued with psychotherapists that says if they said, oh, well, we treat anxiety, and a lot of our anxiety clients will have suicidal ideation. Well, it's because if you have anxiety, you also have depression. If you have depression, you also have anxiety. Now, we're going to talk about many things tonight, but tonight is not about motivation. It's not about discipline, and it's not about adding one more strategy to an already overloaded mind. Who is this for? This is for burned out business owners. And if you are a burned out business owner or just a burned out person, put a fire emoji in the chat right now. Okay. And are you mentally exhausted, but are still ambitious? You're still making money, but you feel stuck despite working hard. How many of you are overthinkers? You overthink decisions that used to feel easy, and now you know something internal is on. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my view of psychology. Our conscious mind says, hey, Chuck needs to stay in that negative habit to protect Chuck, right? Chuck needs to be a smoker to be a successful Chuck. Well, no, Chuck is a better Chuck by being a non-smoker. So if I can, for example, I'm just using smoking for an example. Did you know there's 497 poisons they add to a Marlboro cigarette that turn into 4,000 sub-poisons? And my buddy worked in Virginia at the Marlboro plant, and he says you drive up and you think you're going to smell tobacco, and what do you smell? You smell chocolate. Did you know Marlboro is the #1 purchaser of Hershey's chocolate in the world? So isn't that wild? So after they put all these addictive chemicals like arsenic and rat poison in a cigarette, they cover it in chocolate. So when you smoke, it fires off oxytocin, the love chemical in your brain. Isn't that evil? And there's a few fast food restaurants that add some of the same chemicals to their chicken. But I digress. Hey, let's go to the authority frame and why this works. Okay? Well, first off, welcome everyone. I'm Chuck DeBroder, and we can advance it one more frame here, Rosario. There we go. Oh, first off, this webinar is not for you if you prefer to stay in your comfort zone. If you're not open to exploring new methods and stepping outside your comfort zone, this masterclass may not resonate with you. This webinar is not for you if you're satisfied with your current productivity levels. If you feel that your current productivity and time management strategies are working perfectly for you, you may not find the content of this masterclass beneficial. Or if you're looking for a quick fix, this isn't probably it. If you expect instant results without putting in a little bit of effort on your own to change your mindset and your habits, this masterclass may not meet your expectations. And the final one, you're not ready to take action if you're not ready to commit to making changes. If you haven't said, I've had enough, I'm not going to take it, I don't want to live this way anymore, applying techniques that we discuss may not be the right fit for you. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, I'm Chuck DeBroder. I'm the hypnotic weatherman. I spent 25 years on TV as a degreed meteorologist, okay? And now people in the borderland who still know me, even though I haven't been on TV in 7.5 years, they're like, Chuck, did you hypnotize us while you were on TV? I'm like, yes, Yes, I did, into thinking I was a more accurate meteorologist, right? But yeah, I'm actually a mind geek and a weather geek. And my local hypnotherapy business is called Lightning Hypnosis. And I'm so proud of the saying because I came up with it before AI. Lightning Hypnosis, change in a flash. Okay, so why should I you like that, Doug? All right. Why should you listen to me? Well, in 2004, I certified as a complete mind therapist. It's big in Europe, from the Association of Complete Mind Therapy. And why do they call it complete mind therapy? Because it's got all the EFT, cognitive behavioral therapy. It's got everything in there. Now, while I was on TV, I did hypnotherapy part time. And on the weekends, I helped cardio patients or cardiac patients lose 40 to 85 pounds for local cardiologists. I help heroin addicts get off the heroin, then to get off the methadone and really get on the success track. In 2018, I won the Master Hypnotist Award from the Association of Complete Mind Therapists. And in 2022, I created my Hypnotic Mind Shift Success Program for entrepreneurs, business owners, and executive leaders. And I've made, well, actually, I just guided my clients to make $450,000 to over $2 million in a year. And we'll get to some of the success stories coming up. Now, here's the why about burnout. Burnout is not the root problem. Okay. Now, in hypnosis, I'll give some examples. Smoking, drinking, procrastination, overthinking, they're all symptoms. Okay. Burnout is a signal and not a cause. The real issue is what burnout does to your nervous system and your subconscious mind. Because when a computer is overloaded, how many people have jammed up their computer with too many tabs open? Right? It's, yeah, I have. I've done it. And that's why I have Rosario running the slideshow on the other computer. I think I've got all the tabs done. All right. Now, what happens under chronic pressure? Mental overload, hesitation, and second guessing. Overworking to compensate. Does this sound familiar? All right. Put yes in the chat right now if this sounds familiar. Income stalls or becomes inconsistent. Okay, Doug says yes. How many people, if you have a business, have inconsistent income right now? Now, when you put anything under pressure, you tend to speed things up. And let me get a little meteorological on you. Did you know that high pressure is kind of like a big balloon? And when the air molecules inside the balloon are put under pressure, they move faster and the temperature warms. That's why wind warms. That's a little meteorological fact that I thought I'd throw in there just to show that, hey, it works in nature, it works in your brain, and it works with burnout. But if you mentally slow down and start making consistent decisions, no matter how small, and this is a key, this is some gold here for you. Making decisions and slowing down boosts your calm authority. Have you ever been around a person that is the calmest person in the room? And you're like, wow, I bet he knows the answer to my question. because he's so confident, or she just floats into the room, right? Calm people appear more confident. Now, this is not a motivation issue. It's a neurological and subconscious one. Under pressure, the subconscious takes over. And here's Myrna, one of my success stories, joining right now. When pressure rises, logic loses. I'll repeat that again. When you put yourself under that artificial, false pressure, all logic goes out the door. Your subconscious defaults to survival patterns that once kept you safe, but now keep you stuck. Is this making sense to everybody right now? Am I getting too scientific? I knew I threw in the temperature thing in there and air molecules. And Doug, I didn't see your eyes gloss over, so I think we're still good, right? All right. So, Rami, we're good right now? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Panthers Clause 4. Love that name. What happens when vices disappear without willpower or management? What happens when your negative routines, your negative habits disappear? And we're not just talking about procrastination. We're talking about when you start making a habit of making decisions, when you mentally calm yourself, everything changes. Energy returns, focus stabilizes, and emotional exhaustion drops. When the driver is gone, the behavior stops automatically. Now, is that with a car? No, that's the vice. That's the negative burnout habit. And when we can recognize it from a mile away, and this is what I tell all my clients, after a first session, here's the negative pattern. You start heading to it and you take a right positive turn. And that right positive turn, you know, the Japanese discovered years ago, the samurai, that we can only maximally focus for 25 minutes. And it's called the Pomodoro technique. But when you do something for 25 minutes, I suggest to everyone to then take a break, go outside, walk, go do something you enjoy, a hobby for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then do something else on your priority list. Okay? And when you do that, when you give your mind a break and you do something else for 25 minutes, give it a break, and then go back to the original task at hand, you retain more information, you get more creative, and your focus maintains at a high level. All right, let's go to the next slide right now. Income acceleration framework. Now, how do we attract more money? Most solutions work at a conscious level under pressure, and that's the wrong operating system. The subconscious overrides logic. Identity and the nervous system determine execution. Now, some of the women here, you can really attest to this, but when someone wants to date you, guys, our vibrations are all over the place, right? But women, no matter how nervous you are, your vibrations are slow and calm. So I do have high income executives, professional sports players that want to meet the woman of their dreams, their mate, right? But I use an old school saying, you got to slow your roll to match the amplitude of the vibrations. Now, women are excellent, right? Guys, we can just drink water one thing at a time. Women can do 5 things at a time, right? And I won't get too much into this, but I told somebody on a call earlier, man, the other day we saw a young lady, gluing her eyelashes on at the stoplight. And I'm like, girl, you're going to glue your eyes shut, right? But she was probably gluing her eyelashes on, planning dinner, thinking about that witch at work, right? Thinking about somebody she wants to date. If she has kids, she just has to look in the rearview mirror. My mom would only look in the rearview mirror when I was going to do something I shouldn't. And I'd turn to my sister and go, is she psychic? Yeah, women, you're psychic, okay? But when you're desperate for money, when you come from a position of lack, you're going to give off those lack vibrations. You're going to give off that desperation to the universe. I tell all my clients, whether you believe in God, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, the universe, it all acts the same when it comes to the physics, right? But when you line it up, you get faster execution, cleaner leadership decisions, stronger boundaries, and sustainable income growth. And remember at the beginning of this, I told you about Rosario's saying of, show me the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I'll tell you what you're smoking. But if you're hanging around a negative wave, a negative person that drops when they're around you because they feel even worse, and then pull you down, which is the law of constructive interference in physics, you need to set stronger boundaries. And I tell all my clients, always have a meeting you're planning. Now, Pandora, this meeting can be next week. But if you come up on a negative person, Myrna and Doug and Panthers and Diana and Marissa and Saba, if you come up on a negative person, say, hey, man, I got to get going to plan for a meeting coming up here. But how's the husband? How's the kids? Hey, great to see you. Hopefully we can catch up soon. Bye. And you limit the amount of time you spend around a negative vampire. Okay? Am I making sense? Now, introducing. I noticed that right now. Introducing as my, that's my VA in Nepal. And they introduct people to Mount Everest there. But this is the Calm Authority Accelerator, helping burned out business owners make more money. Who here wants to attract more money? This is where we apply everything you just learned personally, precisely, and permanently. Now, I'd like to bring in our first guest here, a testimonial from, gosh, how long has it been? A couple years, 3 years now, Myrna? Myrna Grant, unmute yourself. There we go. Hit that little microphone in the corner. And also, yeah, and can you turn on the camera, or are you driving? Okay, great. We'd love to see you. There she is, Myrna Grant. Tell us now, you called yourself, quote, the queen of procrastination. Is that correct? When you first came to me? And explain that a little bit.
I found myself wanting to do certain things, but I would just kind of put them on the back burner because it's easier to think about them later than it is to deal with them now. And then I would find myself doing things last minute, which wasn't really good. So, really when I met you, Chuck, I was at that turning point where I was just like right here, like it's like here's the top of the hill, and I was like right there. And with the few sessions that we did, it was just remarkable because you put me like right over that hill, and it's just been pure momentum since then.
And Myrna,
So
you work in two cities that are a 6.5 hour drive apart, right?
yes, I work between El Paso and Phoenix. So I'm traveling constantly. So right now it seems like I'm in Phoenix more than I am in El Paso.
Okay.
But
Now,
it's great. I mean, I had to get another house out this way because of the amount of time I was out here.
now
So I
you're a medical contractor. Explain that a little bit.
yes, actually, I have a partner and we just bought our surgery center over in Phoenix. It's Fresh Start Bone and Joint Institute. I deal in an area that's mostly male dominated. So I have a lot of challenges on a daily basis, arguing with lawyers, arguing with surgeons, but it's definitely all well worth it. Um, the way I started with this, Chuck, I was actually helping somebody else open up their surgery center.
Hmm.
And I saw the amount of money that I was making for them, and yet they were forgetting about me. And I was very clear with them. I said, look, I know I can make you lots of money. I said, but when you forget about me, I'm going to forget about you. So guess what? I've pretty much forgotten about them. So I decided to take things into my own hands. I met up with a really great pain management doctor, and she's been a great asset. And believe it or not, a lot of the stuff that we have discussed that you've taught me that I've learned from you, I've actually applied it to her. And she's just like a totally different person from when I met her to where we are right now as partners with the surgery center.
And the queen of procrastination after the first session, she got up the next day, drove
Yeah.
6.5 hours to Phoenix to the largest law firm that she was making up excuses, right, not to go visit.
Yeah.
And you got like five clients. Now they don't pay right away, but
No, they
eventually
don't.
you
They,
you, you got
yeah.
$140,000 in commissions, right? After one
Yes.
session.
Yes. After one session, usually I was I was kind of hesitant to talk to some of these law firms, but a lot of them are, I mean, really wanted to hear the message that we had and how I was going to run this center. It's very concierge, very personal. I deal in the PI world, so it's all, again, personal injury. And it's a difficult field sometimes to be in. It can be very lucrative, but there's a lot of work that has to go into it. And you have to have like the correct moving pieces in order to be successful in it.
And really, you line up
Mhm.
attorneys and accident victims with back
Yes.
surgeons and
Yes.
neurosurgeons, correct?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we've expanded. Dr. Sullivan and I are all inclusive now. We cover all the modalities with both of our clinics now. So if let's say somebody gets in an accident, we can get them the actual lawyer, we can get them the chiro, we can get them physical therapy, we can do everything now. So and then I'm expanding into the traumatic brain injury area. So I'm waiting to purchase that equipment and actually start taking the classes to get certified in that. So that right there will make us completely all inclusive. So these lawyers just need to send whoever it is, whoever their patient, their client is, they just need to send them to us and we'll handle everything from that point all the way up through in case they do need surgery, we handle that portion too. So it's all inclusive.
And it's an excellent service.
It
But
is.
Myrna, you had like 4 sessions and then you haven't had really time to do more.
No, no, that's all I needed. I just, like I said, I just needed that little boost just to get me over that hump. And that's what it took. I needed to hear the right things. I needed to be I guess, deprogrammed and programmed the right way. And that's
Hmm.
all it took. I mean, I think everybody's different, but to me, it seemed a lot easier. Plus, I already had it in my mind. I was already visualizing. I was seeing what I can do because I saw what I did for somebody else. I thought, why should I do that for them when I can do it for me? And with you, Chuck, like I said, it was just getting over that hill. You just helped me get over that last hump. I was on that last step and you pushed me over. And
Yeah,
that's what I
we
needed.
we
And
boosted your
everything, yeah,
motivation, your
exactly.
energy, your
Yes.
creativity. And you took imperfect action, but the imperfect action pays off, doesn't it, Myrna?
It does. It does. It really does. Um, what I've noticed is if you focus, and I know sometimes it's hard to focus because we have everything around us, family, friends, kids, different activities that try to kind of derail us. But at the end of the day, we really have to focus on what it is that we want. We have to, what I do is like, I can, when I wake up in the morning, oh my God, thank you. I have 50 different customers. I mean, even though I may not, in my mind, I do. And as you start reprogramming yourself, these things start to manifest. The mind is very powerful and we can manifest whatever it is that we want. I mean, you're going to live the kind of life that you want. If you're not living that life, it's because you really don't want it. Or you're stuck somewhere and you need to just uncork that area. With you, Chuck, I learned that I had to unlearn the bad habits. I had to unlearn. And unlearning is usually a little more difficult. But once you unlearn and then you relearn the way it should be, it's like night and day.
Hey, thank you, Myrna, for those kind words. And we are sending more positive success energy your way. And if you can stay on a little bit more, that's great. And people, here's the thing. I have clients that volunteer to answer questions of people that are prospective clients. And that's cool too. We'll do one more slide and then we're going to get to Victoria here, who was a client from 10 years ago. Now, there's 3 pillars inside the Calm Authority Accelerator. First, you talked about clarity and focus, vision clarity. And what we do is we use 3 forms of going into the subconscious mind. We use conversational hypnosis. I've been using Milton Erickson words and phrases even at the beginning of NLP. I went to the same seminar that Anthony Robbins went to with Richard Bandler and John Grinder years ago, the originators of neuro-linguistic programming. They followed Milton Erickson in the last few years of his life around in Phoenix, writing everything down. But mindfulness exercise, that's section 1, guided reflection, setting intentions, but setting them with emotions, not just journaling, okay? Then vice elimination. Vice elimination can be anxiety and depression. It can be procrastination, perfectionism. How many people here are OCD or perfectionists that make up excuses like, hey, I don't have the right microphone, so therefore I can't start a live Zoom. I can't do a podcast. I don't have the right training, the right certification. Well, guess what? Before I got on TV, I do mean anxiety and depression are vices, but they're mid-level, okay? Surface level vices are drinking, procrastinating, overthinking. Mid-level is anxiety and depression. And again, 21 years ago, I argued with psychotherapists saying, hey, if you have anxiety, you also have depression. If you have depression, you also have anxiety. And they would say, you know what? I have this chronic anxiety client that we medicated, and then all of a sudden they have suicidal thoughts. Well, yeah, because sometimes they're depressed, or they give hyper medication to people that are depressed and wonder why they wake up at 3 a.m. with an anxiety attack, right? But when you do this mentally, when you release and cleanse, how do you feel after you cry? You feel better, right? Because it's a release. It's a relief of your mind and body, okay? And I broke the record a few weeks ago. I had a big biker guy, I don't know, he was like 6.5 foot tall, big guy, came in here. And he said I made him cry, but he made himself cry in the first 30 seconds. He broke the record. But he says, you know what, Chuck? I'm a big guy. I'm not supposed to cry, but I feel better. And it was a release of his pent up pressure that he put himself underneath. Now, income acceleration. This is all what we want. We're going to start with the foundation, because if you don't have a strong foundation of a tree, of a building, the building's not going to stand in bad weather, right? And we will raise your vibration, and it's not woo-woo, it's science. Like I brought in the 2 laws of physics that prove it. They're now studying 2 out of tune pianos in the same room. You hit a C note and you hit a C note on the out of tune piano and one on the in tune. And the out of tune C note begins to rise up to match the in tune C note. Isn't that amazing? That's pretty wild. Victoria, ICEs. And Myrna was in Phoenix, but she's originally from El Paso. You're in El Paso, aren't you, Victoria?
Yes, here in El Paso. Yes, I am.
Now tell us about what 10, 11 years ago when you met up with me and we did a couple sessions. What happened with you?
Yes. So this was a while ago. I've been in my journey, for the past 12, 13 years has been healing, getting better, because I've always known that I was going to do well in life. But of course, when you don't have your life in order, it just doesn't happen. So I remember the first time I talked to you and you started talking to me about being hypnotized. And I thought, okay, this is woo woo.
Yep.
But then I knew who you were and I thought, well, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And honestly, I was rock bottom. That was it. I was out partying and drinking and getting crazy and going from relationship to relationship. And yes, my real estate career was okay, but not to where I knew I was capable of being, So what I did is we met that one time. I remember you didn't even have an office back then. You didn't have an office. And at first, right before I went and I met you, I said, I have to go with an open mind, because if I want to change, I have to go with an open. If I want to be better, because it's not really about change. I've also learned that it's not about changing who you are, just being a better version of yourself. So since then, I was drinking all the time, partying, relationship after relationship, not the relationship I had with both my kids, I have 2 daughters, was okay. And thank you, Chuck. I truly appreciate it, because you were the first one that actually guided me in the right direction, other than going to a church with a pastor or a priest and telling them all, and them telling me, all you got to do is pray. No. I truly believe now more than ever that everything you do, it is science-based. And when we open our heart and our mind to new things that I know are gonna, well, for example, me with you, I knew that was gonna help me. I mean, Chuck, Realtor of the Year, within a 9-year period, I bought apartments, 6-unit apartments. I have 7 homes. And I just kept going up and up and up. It was just an amazing experience. And I truly believe that you were one of the people that guided me in that direction. So thank you.
And now you guide other people, don't you?
Yes. And now I'm a coach. Yes. But let me tell you, there is one thing that back then I wasn't doing financially. I wasn't okay. But I remember when you told me the price, and I don't remember what the price was, but I was like, I don't have that money. I can't come up with the money. We came up with money to go on vacation, for the quinceañeras, for the weddings, to go out with our friends. Valentine's, men go and buy these big old bouquets for $400. And to me, that's a waste of money. You start with you. Love yourself enough to give yourself that opportunity and invest in you. In you. When you invest in you, everybody around you will be okay. I know because both my daughters, our relationship is phenomenal now. Okay. My real estate career, my coaching, I didn't even know I could be a coach. I'm a high school dropout, no college education. No, my biological parents who left me when I was 2 weeks. Like I was pregnant as a teenager. I was 15. And now I can tell everybody I am a millionaire. And I love that. And I truly believe that you were the one that guided me in that direction. So, Chuck, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining. And I had talked to you a little bit on the phone. You're like, hey, I've got to call 3 prospective real estate clients, and then I'll come on a little late. And I was like, hey, just jump on when you can. But man, this was over 10 years ago. And we just need a catalyst, right? We just need that little mental push that says, hey, I'm going to just take this imperfect action and do it and succeed.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Victoria. And
no, Chuck, thank you. You have done a lot for me. And it's not just me because I'm better. So are my daughters. So are my grandkids. And that's just what I wanted to do, is break that. And I did.
You did. You did. Now, I'm talking to everybody here. If you're done forcing results in your mental health, right? If you want calm execution, and now Victoria, when she walks into the room, she is the calmest person in the room. And then other women and other men are like, boy, she's really confident. Well, guess what? That confidence was 10 years of work. But look at how the work has paid off for you. And if you value deep, fast change, let me tell you one other quick success story. I had a doctorate of psychology at a major university that called me up, and she gave me permission to share the details. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But she says, Chuck, what I teach future psychiatrists, future doctors, and masters of psychology and LPCs, licensed practicing counselors, takes 3 to 5 years for a breakthrough. And I need my anxiety gone today. She paid for my long program. And the second session, she came to me and we made her laugh at her anxiety. Anxiety is fear-based. And you're like, Chuck, laugh. Yeah, we flipped the emotional attachment. And women here, I don't know if you've noticed, but other women can be very petty and evil to other women. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
Is that just something I've noticed? But she had her source of anxiety was a fellow professor, and it would cause her anxiety. She saw this professor after our second session. She said, Chuck, I fell to the ground laughing. And then the professor came over to me and she goes, is everything okay? I looked up and I started crying laughing. And I said, oh, I just heard the funniest joke. I got to go teach class. Bye. And in 2.5 hours, because my sessions are 1 hour and 15 minutes, we helped her flip the emotional attachment on anxiety. Now, are all changes super fast? No. That's why the program that I have is 90 days, because it takes 28 days, I say, to develop a habit, good or bad. Okay? Some people say 21, but it's pretty much a month, right? So the question remains, how can you leverage the Calm Authority Accelerator in your own business to gain momentum needed to get ahead? And sometimes momentum is getting in your car like Myrna and driving 6.5 hours to the largest law firm and getting 5 clients and making $140,000 in commission the next day. All right, let's move forward here a little bit more. Today is the day. Today is the day to say, I've had enough of procrastination. I've had enough of the ill effects of burnout. Because procrastination, hoarding, okay, perfectionism, OCD, they're all side effects of the mid-level anxiety and depression. They're all side effects of what we call burnout, of some of us here working too hard. I know, Pandora, you're working right now. I know it, right? Because, you know, all of us are there. Raquel, Brasilia, Victoria, you said you were a mom at 15, right? Was that correct? Raquel.
Yes.
Yes, you were. Raquel was a mom at 15. She's given me 1,000% to share all these details. In fact, my clients like Raquel and Holly are like, can you wait until I get my professional photos and make sure you spell my name right, right? But guess what? Raquel had a 200 grand a year accounting business, and she just was burned out on helping over 250 clients do their taxes like everybody's doing right now. Her husband, the guy who originally got her pregnant at 15, was a party guy over at the Rich High School at Coronado. And then they got married. She got pregnant again. He was not a good guy. And she felt guilty, like she was a bad mom. But she got divorced from him, found another guy, moved to Atlanta, Georgia. This other guy had a fence company. And her friend from El Paso, who I helped get a promotion, and she did all the work, but she gives me credit. She got an $80,000 a year pay raise. She kept bugging Raquel for 3 years. Hey, Chuck, you need to talk to this Chuck, Raquel. He'll help you out. Well, guess what? On her second sessions, I said, we opened up her creativity, and I give a third person perspective to your business, to your life. And I said, Raquel, have you ever talked to the Home Depot or Lowe's, the big box improvement centers? She goes, no. So after the second session, she called Lowe's, and they're like, oh my God, we need a professional fence builder. We pay all your employees. We pay all their federal taxes, all the materials of the fences. We pay all the transportation to and from the job. All you have to do is make sure your employees show up on time and do a professional job on time. She's now and her husband building fences for 29 Lowe's across the state of Georgia. And now she's building fences for Home Depot. And now the first year she went from 2 million before we started working together to 4.3 million the first year. The second year, 5.8 million. And this last year, 2025 that just ended, she said she was on track for $7 million. Holly Jones said that she probably would still be in her last relationship if when she first came to see me, she mentioned that she was a jealous woman, right? And jealousy is insecurity, right? But she is giving me permission. She has a 3-minute and 15-second testimonial on lightninghypnosis.com you can check out, or on my business landing page. But she was one of the youngest race car drivers in the nation. At 15, she was driving professional mud racing cars, but she decided she wanted to become a bodybuilder. And she entered a contest, got up in the top 5 by accident. She didn't know what she was doing. And then she never obtained that position again. After a few sessions with me, I told her that saying of, if you're the smartest person in the room, leave. And she goes, you know what? I'm smarter than my gym owner trainer. And so I talked to her how to hypnotically get rid of her trainer. And he was like, you know what? I was just waiting for you to ask because I've taught you everything I know. And she got a higher quality IFBB trainer, International Federation of Bodybuilding. And she just 3 months ago, it got her card, her professional IFBB body training card, and she won a contest. And now she's training others. Myrna, we talked to Myrna. She's here. She's in Phoenix. And she opened up her own surgical center. And she's doing brain injuries now. But the day after she told me, Chuck, my nickname for myself is the Queen of Procrastination. And she got so much motivation and energy, she drove 6.5 hours and got 5 clients. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. And the reason I touch on these testimonials, because I've had so many lead generation companies and other companies say, Chuck, we'll sell your business. And they cannot really explain what I do. But having people like Victoria and Myrna and hearing Raquel's story and Holly's story. I have a professional boxer who trained in El Paso. Now he's training over by you, Pandora. His name is Abel Mendoza. He's 42 wins and 0 losses, and he's my sports hypnosis client. And, after 42 fights, you really got to dig deep to find your motivation to still fight, don't you? And that's what he needed help with. And he just won another fight in Colombia. And he's due for a fight, I believe, in San Diego, and then one in Vegas after that. Now, you can look up lightning hypnosis on Google. I believe I'm up to 56 5-star ratings. They're all real people that most all of them will talk to you one-on-one, just like Victoria did and Myrna. Okay, so let's give you a gift right now. Today's booking offer, we're going to have 3 exclusive bonuses if you sign up now. We're going to have a personalized procrastination assessment, okay? And I call it a mini hypnosis session, where you and I will go one-on-one. I will give you my 1 hour and 15-minute recorded in a studio binaural beat, sleep enhancing and anxiety and depression erasing audio session just for joining this masterclass right now. And then I'm going to give you the procrastination busting toolkit. This toolkit is filled with practical exercises, tips, and resources. Now, here's what I'm going to give you today. I want you, all of you, to sit comfortable and breathe deeply from the nose. And Diana says the audio is awesome. It really is. Breathe in deep and hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. This time hold it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and blow out through the mouth. Now, anybody want to volunteer and open up their microphone and let us know where is a place you've been, either on vacation or you go where you feel totally happy, relaxed, full of joy and happiness. Where do you go? Anybody want to volunteer for that? Some people say their bedroom, their backyard, the mountains of Ruidoso around here with pine trees, and they go hiking. Or how many people go to the beach? Pandora, do you go to the beach down in SoCal? Okay, when you get a chance. Sunset on the beach. How did I know that? I guessed that right as she put it in there. Now, I want everybody to take their right hand and grab their left thumb, okay, and wrap it around their left thumb. Now, I'm going to use Pandora's example and we'll speak to her. Pandora, close your eyes and tell me, what is the first thing you see at the beach?
Red skies.
Red skies. Are you going there at sunset?
Yeah.
Sunset on the beach, nothing's better. Now I want you to breathe in deeply and smell that salt air and squeeze your thumb. Squeeze your thumb. I want you to see the vivid reds and oranges of the sea salt. And here's another weather geek fact coming in here. Did you know sea salt, pollution, okay, and dirt are effective scatterers of light? And that's why, Victoria and Myrna, we have some of the best sunsets in the world in the desert here. We have plenty of beach, Pandora, but no ocean here, okay? But we have some of the best sunsets because we actually have sea salt above our head here in the desert. Can you believe that? Now close your eyes, and do you bring a beverage to the beach or something to snack on? Do you just sit in the sand? I want you to feel the sand and squeeze your thumb. I want you to breathe like you breathe when you're totally relaxed, totally happy, and squeeze your thumb. Now, do you hear any birds or distant people laughing? What do you hear, Pandora?
I hear chatters. I hear the waves.
Waves.
I hear the wind.
Okay, and I want you to hear all that and squeeze your thumb. Now, I want you to imagine you have a cold thermos of water, and I want you to take a sip, and I want you to taste that cold water. And everything just seems to taste better outdoors, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I want you, what's a favorite snack food that we could, because guess what? Your mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So what kind of snack food would you bring to the beach, Pandora?
Boiled eggs.
Boiled eggs? Well, hey, I want you to taste the boiled eggs. And did you know eggs are the most perfect protein? They used to be made to be the enemy, but did you know that there is a chemical in egg whites that cancels the one bad LDL in egg yolks? And eggs are the most perfect protein. I eat a boiled egg every morning. So I want you to squeeze your thumb and taste the egg. And it tastes good. Hear the sounds of the waves. See the red of the sunset. Smell the salt air. And how do you feel right now?
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Guess what, Pandora? You didn't take any pills. You didn't sip on any liquor or anything that people do that thinks that it relaxes them when they don't. You just went to the beach in your mind. Now, anybody else have a different location that they went to that wants to open up their mic and share with us?
Thank you, Chuck.
Oh, thank you, Pandora. And guess what? I want you to do this. This is your homework. I give hard homework. Okay? Told one lady a few months ago, you have to play piano 20 minutes a day. And she hadn't played in 10 years. Guess what? She said, Chuck, I'm up to 2 hours a day, and I cannot, and I do not feel anxiety and depression when I'm playing piano. So I want you to take a habit that you put on the shelf the last 10 years and bring it back into your life. Now, you see that QR code right there? it brings you to my Calendly link, which still works the same. I'm going more towards my Go High Level links, but this one is designed especially for my business owners, entrepreneurs, high performers. I have athletes, I have actors, you name it. I have people like Doug, like Marissa over in Colorado. What part of Colorado? All right. It's a 404. Yeah. What part of Colorado are you from, Marissa? I was born and raised in Denver. And after they delivered me, they stopped delivering babies at Porter Memorial Hospital. Marissa, where are you from?
Yes, hi. Yeah, I currently live in Denver.
In Denver. And
Mhm.
where would you go to totally relax and feel happy on
I
squeezing
go
your
to
thumb?
Ojo Caliente Hot Springs down in New Mexico, a little bit northwest of Taos.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
breathe in the fresh mountain air, right?
Yeah,
You,
it's the best.
is there a little bit of sulfur smell of the hot springs, right?
That place doesn't have it so much, but yeah,
Okay.
some do. I'm with you though. Yeah.
Yeah, like Glenwood Springs. I grew up swimming there and all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love
Yeah.
it there.
And here's the thing. Squeezing your thumb, you can do it during a business meeting and do it under the table, and nobody knows unless they've been a current or former Chuck DeBroder client. Hey, she's going to the hot springs. She's going, Pandora's going to the beach. They don't know that. But guess what? You're slowing your roll. You're becoming the calm authority of the room. And you're projecting to all the people around you, you're the most confident. And then by raising your vibrations, you're going to attract higher income, more positive people and opportunities into your life. Now, I'm going to open it up for questions from anybody. So Marva, Doug, Myrna, Radiant Prana, Diana, Saba, Panther's Claws. Panther's Claws, where are you watching from tonight?
Florida.
Florida. So a Florida Panther, right?
Well, no.
Okay, what part of Florida?
About 45 minutes to an hour outside of Orlando, about halfway between Tampa and Orlando.
Awesome. And where did you go to totally relax when you squeezed your thumb?
St. Martin.
St. Martin. And did you smell the salt ocean air or feel the sun? What did you feel?
I got French food and sat on the Dutch beach.
Oh, hey. Oh, I believe my name is either Danish or Dutch. You know, those Vikings got around, but it's.
That's why I like St. Martin. It's the French restaurants and the Dutch beach, and it's. The beaches are just incredible there, but the French food is unsurpassed.
Well, and guess what? And what do your friends call you? What's your first name?
Monty.
Monty, guess what? You can save the airfare, okay, flying over there, and you can go to St. Martin and to the beach and eat the French food every night before you go to bed. And then every morning when you get up, you're going to fly to St. Martin again, and you're going to be on the beach, and you're going to notice new details. But then you're reinforcing this anchor trigger, which was originally developed by Milton Erickson and enhanced in neuro-linguistic programming with Richard Bandler and John Grinder. But your mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. That's why so many virtual reality video gamers will actually have heart attacks because they think the zombies are real chasing them or someone shooting at them. So, how many people are excited for their free gifts? And I want you to drop in the chat that you've registered. Oh, it's a 404. The QR code's not working. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop my booking link in the chat right now. So maybe it's going to take you that QR code to a Sherpa Mount Everest climbing link, because Nirpada Rahamaji, who helped me make this slide deck, she made this, and maybe that's the thing there. So we're going to get this and copy the link right now, and I'm going to drop it in the chat. Also, you can drop me an email. You've been getting emails and texts from my number. But if you're ready for a one-on-one, and believe me, I bring the value. I give you the same advice that I give my clients. I listen to your challenges, and I actually listen. And then I take notes in my mind and on the paper. And then we make a master plan, a map, an answer key on how you're going to get to the calm authority and start attracting more abundance, more positive opportunities. In Victoria, your case, more potential real estate clients, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uy, se me hace que déjame chequeo.
Yes.
Okay. And anybody have more questions right now or comments? Anybody want to know more about the hypnotic mind shift method? But that anchor trigger is part of the visualization of the 3 ways I drop you into your subconscious mind. Now, again, the law of constructive interference. Yes. Sorry, the point. Yeah, the law of constructive interference. 2 waves of the same amplitude, when they meet, they double in positivity. And when there's a negative wave around a positive wave too long, the negative wave drops and pulls the positive down. And that's what happens, Victoria, because you and I used to hang out in some of the bars, right? And
yes.
You know what? Nice people that hang out at bars. I made some good contacts, but they're carp and catfish, I call them. They're low vibrators that if you hang around too long, it will pull you down and keep you down. Now you're hanging out with high vibration people, you know, like Mr. PB, Preston Brown, right? He just has vacations with high vibrating people. And guess what? They help each other succeed. That's what I do. Oh, by the way, if you join the Calm Authority Accelerator, you get 2 hypnotic mind shift groups on Tuesdays and Thursdays for no extra charge. Now, it's at 8 a.m. Pacific, okay, or 9 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. But a lot of people that are working will just put on their headphones. I've got federal employees that listen to the whole hour. I create a Google Doc like I did today, and that Google Doc is on mental erasing of overthinking. And it sounds funny, but when I tell all my clients, this is one more gift I'm going to give to you, and then I'll let you get to your friends and family and get to bed, some of you on the East Coast. But to reduce overwhelm, here's my trick I give to all my clients. Write in the back of a notebook everything you have to do for the next month or 2 months, okay? And then never look at it. Write the 3 priority things you have to do today/tomorrow. And on the top of the paper, write the 3 things I have to do today/tomorrow, and only look at those. Then, if you were to come see me in person, you get a friction erasable pen. I need to be sponsored by Pilot. But this pen erases by heat. And I tell all my clients, I'm going to put a little heat on your problems and it will magically disappear. But I cross out what I accomplished of the 3 things I have to do today/tomorrow. I celebrate it. I have all my clients, I give unlimited texting and messaging from all my clients. How many therapists do that? And then if you're in the Calm Authority Accelerator, I give 1 additional phone call per session where you can tell me, hey, Chuck, in Victoria's case, I just sold another $500,000 home and we'll celebrate, right? Or in Myrna's case, I just got 4 more clients and made 100 grand today in commission. Or in Raquel's case, I just took on another 5 Lowe's locations, right? And got in there. All right, Marissa, it's so nice to see your camera on. And if everybody can turn their camera on, and maybe we can, hey, Rosario, you can stop sharing the screen now, and I will re-put back into the chat. But if we can put everybody up and put on your camera and wave, and let's do the view. Here we go. We got Bear. How's it going, Bear, in Los Angeles?
I
Welcome.
loved it.
Hey, there you are, and wave and get everybody around. Marissa up there in Denver, which, gosh, did you know I got my 2nd degree in meteorology from Metropolitan State University, and I parked at the Tivoli Shopping Center, which was an old brewery, and I could park. I am a smart guy, and I was a poor college student, and parking in Denver is how much for the day? Probably $20 now. I don't know, but it's expensive. But how much is it, Marissa? Do you know?
I don't know.
It's expensive. But I would go to the Tivoli Brewery and go to Mrs. Fields Cookies and buy a 50-cent chocolate chip cookie. And I would park for the entire day for my Metropolitan State University meteorology courses for 50 cents. You can't beat that, can you?
That's cool.
But see, that's the kind of creativity. Now, guess what? People started following Chuck through the mall or saw him in line. And about, 2 months later, there was Mrs. Field franchise owner jumping up and down because they would sell out of cookies because all the college students figured it out months after Chuck was one of the first, right? So there you go. Now, if you want to figure out how to never be burned out again, how to never procrastinate, and how to get motivated and get more energy, I want you to go ahead to that booking link right there that we put in the chat. Also, just for the people here, I'm going to give you my direct cell phone. Okay? And this is different from my business number. And you can message me there as well. 915-203-3007. Okay? Now, any last questions or comments? Paul Hirschman, Are you up in LA? You were one of the, Paul joined us a half hour early. Paul, where did you go when you squeezed your thumb? I don't know if he's still listening to this or not, but he joined us about a half hour early. And Saba is all the way over in Lahore, Pakistan. Welcome, Saba. And she's one of my excellent assistants as well. And she works hard helping put out content and message people on Chuck DeBroder LinkedIn. Go there and link up with me. Larry Kirby, where did you go when you squeezed your thumb today?
Hey Chuck, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Saba, and thank you for your work on getting people to this class. It's very successful. And
I really enjoy your masterclass.
hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And you've done a couple little tricks like the thumb as well. And she went to fields of flowers, right, to relax, Saba? And how does that work?
Yes,
When you squeeze your thumb, you instantly relax, don't you? So there you go. Well, hey, Pandora, Myrna, Paul, everybody that's still here, Bear, we got to catch up there. You're part of my school group as well, so I appreciate it. But I'm going to send out much love. I'll let everybody get to their friends and family. Myrna, thank you so much for giving your testimonial here tonight. And we need a catch-up call here soon. I booked with you, Chuck. Look forward to our session. Hey, Pandora, I look forward so much to meeting you. And during that session, we will map out a plan for your success. And whether we work together or not, you're going to have a plan to move forward. And then I'm going to give you another free anchor trigger that will instantly, I got to get the snapper working, boost your confidence and your calmness and your pride. And when you're proud of yourself and when you're confident, you really project that to everybody in the room. So I want everyone to have a most excellent sleep. Remember, that's all right, Bear. Hey, sending positive healing vibes to your wife. Hope she's okay. And we'll catch up again. I enjoyed talking to you for our last masterclass. And we talked on a free session as well, didn't we?
Yep.
And how did you like that session? Good night, Doug.
I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Bear. Well, thank you. Good night, Pandora. Thank you, Myrna, everybody. We will talk to you soon, Bear and Larry and Panthers. Monty, did you book a free session for making it this far? Go ahead and grab that booking link, okay? Or grab my phone number, all right? And then maybe someday we'll head to St. Martin's for real, because my last name means DeBroder means Chuck the brother. So I'm the brother of all in Dutch and Danish and German. So there you go, DeBroder. So there. Any last words or questions, Monty? Or you're good?
I'm good. I got the phone number and I'll be taking care of business.
Hey, thank you, man. And thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Great talking to you earlier. And I look forward to meeting you all. Have an excellent night. Bye for now. Thank you all. Good night.